Hello friends, Jeff here from Bygone and welcome to Chrome Bumper Cruisin, a new segment we'll be featuring on Bygone's YouTube channel and website. A close friend recently asked if there were any classic cars or trucks that I regretted selling, and one came to mind right away. On today's episode of Chrome Bumper Cruisin, I'm excited to share the story of an incredible 1972 Chevy C10 Cheyenne Super Survivor. I found this Cheyenne Super listed for sale in Iowa with just 51,000 original miles. I couldn't wait to get this truck home and was absolutely blown away by its condition since the moment I saw it. Its original dark olive green paint and white top were in incredible condition, and as you're looking through the photos, there's no lying about the depth of the gloss and the shine that this truck has. The interior was near mint, and I fell in love immediately with that houndstooth seat cover that the Cheyenne Supers come with from the factory. Even the box with the painted bed looked like new. After the purchase, I did some internet sleuthing. I found the son of the second owner up in Minnesota. He was more than happy to take my phone call and tell me the story of how his dad bought the pickup truck back in 1975 and how the miles stayed so low. Dad was a farmer, and back in 75 was on his way back home from town and saw the Cheyenne Super for sale in a local Chevy used car lot. He was struck by that dark olive paint just like I was, and after inspection noticed how well optioned the truck was. It featured that big block 402 V8, turbo 400 automatic transmission, and factory air conditioning. With just 30,000 miles on the truck, Dad thought it'd be perfect to use sparingly as a going-to-town truck and show it off to his friends. What Dad wasn't expecting, though, was the poor gas mileage the truck got. Remember, gang, this was in the middle of the gas crunch in the mid-1970s, and this truck got less than half of the gas mileage that Dad was used to getting in his straight 6.3 on the tree Chevys. The son remembers Dad mentioning that the truck regularly got between 8 and 9 miles per gallon, which is about right considering I got around 10 or so with it while I owned it. The truck was used fairly regularly for the first year or two, but the son said that as the years went on, Dad just found that it was too expensive to drive the truck all the time, and so it began sitting and sitting until months became years between rides. And by the early 2000s, the son said he knew for sure the truck had been off the road for 10 or 15 years. The son talked to Dad, and they decided it was time to resurrect the old Cheyenne Super. So it was tuned up and fresh fuel was put in the truck, and lo and behold, it fired right up. For the next several years, the son enjoyed driving the pickup truck around town to local car shows and to local ice cream stands. He put some miles on the truck too. And by 2010 or so, the truck now had upper 40,000 miles or so. The time was right, though, for the truck to be sold, and it then passed hands to the gentleman in Iowa, who then sold it to me a couple years later. What's consistent with all of these owners over the years, though, is understanding that this wasn't just another C10 pickup. Everyone knew how special this truck was and took great care to make sure that it stayed out of the elements and that the paint remained incredibly glossy and shiny. It's really something else. I'll tell you, these photos don't do the truck justice. I basically drove the truck as it sat. I did add some factory correct items like upper and lower radiator hoses. I did tune the truck back up one more time, advanced that timing just a little bit, and threw some new tires on it. But for the most part, I just drove it for the next couple of summers, putting an additional 2,000 miles on it or so. This is a true survivor. It had 100% original paint, and I'm telling you, that interior on this truck was so gorgeous. Even factory markings were visible all over the undercarriage. Different tags were visible under the hood. It was just remarkable in every way. I had an opportunity, though, to purchase a 1972 Hearst Old Survivor. It was a really difficult decision, but in order to make that purchase happen, I had to part ways with the 72 Cheyenne Super. I was still teaching high school at the time, so I used the proceeds from the sale of the truck to buy that Hearst Olds and pay down on my student loans a little bit more. I still get to see this old 72 Cheyenne Super but not in the way that you might think. The new owner runs a company that rents vehicles to Hollywood. Over the years, I've seen my truck in a few different commercials, as well as in episodes of Shameless and Chicago Fire. Heck, maybe you recognize it too. At the time I sold it, I thought I'd find another 71, 72 C10 Survivor that drove like this truck. But in the 7 or 8 years since I've sold it, I haven't found another Survivor like this one. This truck drove like no other pickup I've ever owned. For now, I'll keep looking, and please don't hesitate to send one my way for my personal collection. Thanks for tuning in, gang, and we'll be back soon with another edition of Chrome Bumper Cruisin'.